The SGX, importantly, has been experiencing a noteworthy revival in the number of IPOs and RTOs in the recent 12 to 24 months. IPO is an initial public offering, and RTO is a reverse takeover or a backdoor listing. Just to note that, I guess from the SGX point of view, an RTO and an IPO have the same admission standards, and they all require an independent qualified persons report, has to be prepared, and that has all the relevant information of all those reserve numbers and calculations I mentioned. A lot of that would be in there. And I guess the differences, the nuances between both, it depends on the company and where they are, and what process they want to take, and so there are differences. But you can see below here, in the last basically 12 months or so, we had GeoEnergy, which had a successful IPO in October 2012, and there's a Resource Prima RTO last year, November 2014. And there's been two new announced RTOs for the next few months, and that's Black Gold and GEMS, all expected to be closed within this quarter or early next quarter this year. So quite a lot of activity. This kind of shows you, it's really for illustration purposes, but I mentioned those four companies and where they're listed and what their market cap is, their reserves, all trading at different values. I guess, if we start from the bottom, the GEMS RTO on the main board, the SGX, large anticipated market cap, large company, because it's got fairly high grade reserves, large reserves, and it's an established coal producer. So it is producing, it's quite a strong company. Black Gold, each company is different. Black Gold is more focused in Indonesia, Riau province in Sumatra, and it supplies coal to the power plants under long-term contracts with someone like PLN, for example. So security there. And then there's companies like Prima Resources, which is one of those companies that has coal reserves, but also some of the logistics. It's a little bit different to the others, and I think that's a positive. And it operates in East Kalimantan. So you need to take a different view on valuations personally. And then there's GeoEnergy, a good stable of reserves. As I mentioned, IPO'd on the main board, and the independent consultants, Bear Dolby and SMGC, reviewed that, and it came out quite positive in terms of the quality of some of those assets. So when you're looking at these, you really need to see where you think the value will be, whether it's a company that's just got large reserves that are undeveloped, or a company that's already in production and perhaps looking for cash flow and looking for an acquisition, or a company that's got the logistics sorted but perhaps not as good reserves. So they're all different, and that's why they're trading separately.